Welcome to Our Scars Speak. My name is Christina Miner. I am the host of this podcast. And before we begin, we want to give a disclaimer that we are not claiming to be medical professionals or giving any type of advice or suggestions for your treatment plan. We ask you to please adhere to what the doctors and the mental health professionals and medical professionals are telling you for your specific treatment plan. We are not being held liable for anything discussed here tonight. This is just merely to give support and encouragement and to share our stories. So without further ado, tonight we have Angela Washington.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. I am so excited about having Angela up here. I met Angela through Here for the Girls, who she's going to talk about that later. But Angela is such a sweetheart, and her and I just vibe all the time. Like whenever you want somebody, I want to put on her flyer, like she my road dog, because anytime that you want to hang out, Angela's like, where we go?
Yes.
And Here for the Girls brought us together, and she is truly a joy and a pleasure to just be around. And I love my sister with all my heart, and I'm so honored that she would come up here tonight. And she'll let you know, but she's Miss November, so she's my calendar ambassador sister too. But Angela, I'm so excited.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So before we get into everything about what life was like before breast cancer and all that, let everyone know, who is Angela outside of the breast cancer and all of that. What do you want to share about yourself that you want people to know?
I'm very outgoing. I like to have fun, like to laugh, and I really love to help people. That's my main thing. I love helping people. I don't do it for fame, fortune. I just see you need help. I do what I need to do, and I move on. And that's my thing. But I really love to have fun and laugh, and laughing keeps me going.
Right.
I can get a good laugh. It just keeps me going.
Yes, girl, we have some good times, I tell you.
Yes, we do. Hey.
We definitely do. So with that being said, because I do know that you do like to help people. That's one of the things. I mean, even hanging out as something as somebody might think, well, that's just simple. But if someone invites you somewhere, you will try your hardest to always make it to every event. And I'm like, good Lord, Angela, like I thought I went a lot. Like you got me topped, like 100%. But part of that is not just because you're going to have fun. You go to support people. And I've watched you do that over and over and time again, even to the point of you will come all the way to my house if I asked you to, which is like a good 45 minutes away from where you live, to come pick me up and then bring me back home.
Yes.
And it's just because you want everyone to come together and to really support each other. And I totally admire that about you. And I've watched you do that since I've met you.
Thank you.
So what was like, before we get into the breast cancer part, before you even found out about having breast cancer, what was life like for you? Like what was going on? Were you just living life and having a good time? Was it a rough time in life? Like how was life for you before breast cancer?
Well, I was living life and having a good time. Yes, I was. And working, working and raising my son. I have a 24-year-old son. And in the midst of all that, started losing family members. Started losing family members. So, in the midst of all that, I'm working, trying to have fun, losing family members.
Right.
To cancer, other cancers. And trying to raise a son, single mom, by myself. And just trying to, every day just trying to put my feet on the ground and say, here, this is what I got to do. I got to go no matter what I'm going through, no matter what it was I was dealing with. I know I still had to go. You know what I'm saying? And then I ran into the part of my mom. I already lost 2 uncles. I already lost 2 cousins. So now it's my mom.
Wow.
So her being mixed diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. That was like a whirlwind right there.
Right.
And now I'm trying to work, taking care of my son. Now I got to deal with my mom, trying to get my son through school, which him and my mom was really, really close. So that was hard on him to deal with. So that was like, okay, what is really going on? I got to deal with this. I got to get myself together and deal with this. Okay, mom, I got you. I got to do what I got to do, And my mom was my rock. She was She was the person I could go to, talk about anything. You know, she tell me how she felt. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. She was straight up, blunt, keep moving. I love you, and it's gonna be what it is. You know, and then thinking of losing her and what I'm gonna do if I lose my mom, you know, that's my support system, you know, what I'm gonna do. And then, you know, only way I got through that was her her reminding me and telling me when she was going through, like, everything is gonna be okay.
Mm,
Give it to God. Pray about it. It's gonna be okay. So
wow.
that what got me through hers. Because I know, you know, we sat and talked, and you know, she told me, you know, I want you to stick in here with me. I want you to write my obituary for me, you know,
Oh,
or it's gonna get hard, you know what I want you to be strong, you know. So going through that with her, being there for her, helped me
mm-hmm.
out a lot because I know I did what I could do. You know what I'm saying? I did everything I could do, you know, by being there with her. But it also made me strong because I look back over what she overcome,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but raising 4 kids by herself. You know, she had four, I only had
Right.
one. So I look back. So that made me stronger, hold on. You know, I still had my moments because my mom and I miss her to death, but the encouragement she put me through and, you know, raised me up in church and, you know, stuff
Right.
like, you know, she said, you got to be strong. You got to do this for mom. I said, okay, mom, I got it. Okay, I can do this. Going through it with her, you know,
And how old were you?
I was 32.
Okay, so you were 32 when your family members, like you're living life, but family members were going through and passing away from
I'm
cancer.
sorry. Excuse me. I was 42.
42. Okay. And then your mom ended up finding out, and you said she was misdiagnosed.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Now when it comes to all these people in your family, did anyone get any type of genetic testing done as they were going through at those times?
No,
No.
no.
And it's not even because, as you know, we both know sometimes people weren't offered
Yeah.
genetic testing. Years ago, it seemed like more people weren't offered as much as they are now.
Right. Um, I don't believe it was offered to my grandma.
Okay.
My grandma had 10 kids. And
Wow.
out of her 10 kids, she passed away from cancer. Her
Okay.
oldest son passed away from cancer. My uncle and aunt, which is her other son and daughter,
Right.
passed away with cancer. My mom passed away with cancer, and no genetic tests, none.
And the sad part is that we don't even know if it was even, like you said, offered to them.
Right, right.
So when your mother was misdiagnosed, so you helped her through all that. So did you help her get to the point of getting a diagnosis? Were you there for her for
Oh
with
yeah, oh yeah. We was there. Me and my sisters, whatever. We was there with her. You know, she was going to this one doctor for 3 years. She was
Mhm.
after she was diagnosed. So we was with her the whole time, going back and forth the doctor's appointment, different appointment tests, whatever. And see, my mom, she told the doctor,
Mhm.
check me for cancer. It
Oh,
runs in my family. I know
yeah,
my body. I'm losing too much weight.
right.
They said, oh no, it's just hemorrhoids. You know, she said, I don't have any hemorrhoids. She didn't say it nice, but she said, I don't have any hemorrhoids. For 3 years. And then she goes to another doctor and had
Mhm.
one CAT scan done in stage 4.
Right. And as we know, colon cancer can go very quick,
Mhm.
like very quick. So it's interesting because, I have you coming up here telling your story, your personal story, but then your mom and your family. So I love the fact that you're sharing this part because you're also talking not only as a survivor, you're also talking as a caregiver.
Yes,
Even
yes,
though it's a different type of cancer, it's still cancer. And you're
yes,
talking as a caregiver, and you're talking to, you're talking from a perspective of, I've watched my whole entire family
right,
go through this,
right.
and including my mother. And now here I sit. So how did anyone have breast cancer, first of all, out of all those diagnoses,
No,
prior to you?
no, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it was always like colon cancer
It
and
was throat,
okay.
lung, stomach, colon, and median breast.
Okay. Okay. So your mother, she passed before you got diagnosed.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, it was she passed in June 18th,
Mhm.
2017, And I was diagnosed February 23rd, 2018.
Wow. Wow. So how did you, because truthfully, if she passed in June of 2017 and then 2018, the beginning of 2018 is when you were diagnosed, that is still a short period of
Yeah.
time, your grieving process, especially over someone who's your mother. Like that was short.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how you felt. But before we get to how you felt, how did you even discover? Did you discover a lump? Like, share that part with us, if you don't mind.
No, actually, I was at work one day, and I got this real bad pain in my side. So I said, okay, I need to go to the doctor because this pain is unbearable. I have high tolerance for pain, but this pain is unbearable. So I get off from work, I go to the doctor. They come in, ultrasound, CAT scan, can't find nothing. Blood work, can't find nothing. So I'm like, okay. So the doctor that night, she was like, you don't have a primary care physician. Why not? And I said, because I'm not sick, I'm healthy. I don't go to no doctor, I'm good. She said, nah, you ain't here now with the pain, you ain't good. And you have good health insurance, you get a primary care physician, seriously. That's what she told me. So I'm like, okay, I had just told my family history. I just lost my mom. I had told her all that.
Right.
So she said, no, I'm going to refer you to this doctor, real good doctor. So she did. And so when I went to the doctor, whatever, and I told her about my family history. And so when I went to the doctor,
hold on just a second.
I told her about,
sorry, go ahead.
I told her about my family history. And she said, okay, I'm going to send you for this test, this test, this test, this test. And I said, no, my mom always said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it alone. I'm good. She said, no, I need you to have all these tests done. So she sent for me for a colonoscopy, blood work, mammogram, the whole nine. So went for the mammogram. So they said they thought they saw something in the left breast. So the doctor said, well, I don't have nothing to compare it to. Come back in 6 months so I can see it again and check it. So I'm like, okay. So mind you, I have another doctor that was across from the mammogram office that you go into. So I was coming from out that appointment. And I said, wait a minute, let me stop and see when my next appointment is, make sure I didn't miss it.
Right.
So I goes up there and I said, I want to, check on my next appointment, make sure I didn't miss my appointment. So she said, hold on, let me look. She looked it up. She said, oh, your appointment was 2 days ago, you missed it. So I said, nobody called me, no reminder or anything. She's like, I'm sorry, but So she was like, well, would you want to reschedule another one? So I was like, yeah, I want to reschedule another one, please. So I rescheduled the other one, went back in there. So then, of course, you know how you do. Wait a minute, we'll be right back. So I'm laying up there and I'm laying up there and I'm like, okay, God, this can't be. This can't be. Nah, this can't be. So she come back in. So the doctor comes in behind us. So you already know.
Yeah.
So soon the doctor come in, he said, hey, Miss Washington, how you doing? I said, okay. He said, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He said, but I see something in the right breast and I want to do a biopsy. So I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. So I go do the biopsy.
They did it the same day?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
no.
whoa,
I must make it, no, not the same day. I went back within a week's time.
That's still quick.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question. When you said your side, just so people know, because see, a lot of people, I've had people come up here to talk about they had chest, pain in their chest. When you're talking about your side, was it side of your breast or like side, like?
No, the side on my side, stomach on my side down here.
Oh, okay.
My side of my abdomen.
Okay. So you had that pain and that's what alerted you to go to the doctor.
Yes.
So it wasn't the side of your breast, but it was the same side where the cancer was though.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Right. And so within a week's time I had a biopsy. And so when I went in for the biopsy, they said, we're gonna call you. This was a Thursday. They said, we're gonna call you by Wednesday to give you your results or whatever. So I said, no. I said, you'll have it by Monday. So she said, I said, you'll have it by Monday. She said, okay, well, either way, we'll let you know. Okay. So I'll go on, not worrying about a thing like it ain't nothing, ain't worried, it's benign or whatever. Because mind you, when I was 6 months pregnant with my son, I had a lump in my right breast, but it was benign. And Dr.
Oh,
Tynes
okay.
removed it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So now he's 24 now, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So after that, lo and behold, I was at work on Monday. Phone call came through and I answered the phone.
Mm,
And so she's like, can I speak to you? And I started speaking, whatever. And she was like, we need you to come into the office as soon as possible. I said, well, I can't come in right now because I'm at work.
right.
Well, no, because we need to see you and talk to you, you know, as soon as you can get in here. I said, not right now. I have to work. I can't just leave my jobs to come in, you know, not thinking, you
Right.
know. So I said, I'll try to get there tomorrow. I try to get there tomorrow. So she said, okay. She called me right back
Mm,
and said, Dr. Perlman wants to know, can you come to her office? I said, when? Immediately. So I'm
wow.
like, oh, Lord, yeah, go right there.
Yeah, we all, I mean, that's just signature conversation.
Right. So I get in the
Yeah.
car and I'm going flying up there. I'm flying. I go in, I
Right.
bust up in the door and they looking like, the world. I said, I just got a call that I had to get here as soon as possible, whatever.
And you're by
So the lady,
yourself.
I'm by myself. Gave her my name and everything. I'm by myself. So the lady looked at me and she was like, what's your name? So I told her, she was like, no, you didn't have to rush to get here. I said, well, the lady was talking on the phone like, I need to get here as soon as possible. She said, no, I think she got it misunderstood.
Hmm.
So I said, okay. She said, I think she meant, you know, when you can get here, but you didn't have to come like right away. Because 3 envelopes was handed to my oncologist, which is Dr. Perlman, Christina Perlman.
Mm-hmm.
3 envelopes was handed to her. She just picked one out the bunt, and it was mine.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So she said, I just told her to call you to tell you to come in so I can talk to you, explain everything. What I didn't tell her to tell you to rush up here, you know, whatever. My blood pressure was through the roof and everything. She was upset. She said, shouldn't have did that to you. I said, yeah, but
Right.
that's fine. That's fine. So when I went in there, she looked at me and she said, no, not you. Because she had my mom. That was my mom oncologist.
Oh, so your mom is the same oncologist as your mother.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So, you know, she said, not you. I said, yes, it's me. So, you know, I'm all the pieces. I'm crying. I'm hysterical, whatever. And I go in the office, whatever. And the first thing she says to me is, you're not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, it seemed like, okay, I can handle this now. I probably can deal with this. It's not a death sentence. It's not a death
Right.
sentence, you know. But still in the back of my mind, you're not God, so you can't tell me that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm still having that thought in the back of my mind, but okay. So she sat down, she talked to me and everything about, you know, the size, the grade, you know, the stage, and, you know, let me know what to look for, you know, and stuff like that. And I was so all the pieces, Christine. I'm telling you, when I said I was all the pieces, she was like, you by yourself? And I was like, yeah, she's, I can't let you be by yourself. She's, I
Mm-hmm.
can drive you back to where you need to be. And I was like, no,
Wow.
you can't leave your job. No, I'm gonna be okay. She's like, no, okay. I said, well, just let me sit here for a minute. I'm gonna get, you know, get
Yeah.
my stuff together. So I got my stuff together and I, you know, and she said, you know, you was a stage 1, you know,
Okay.
um, 1A, and you was a grade 1.
Okay.
You know, and she said, you know, we can tackle this. She said, you're gonna have surgery, you know, have a lumpectomy.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news is you don't have to have chemo.
Mm-hmm.
But when she was saying that, I won't even, I was like, okay.
Right.
She said, no, the good news is you don't have to have chemo. I'm like, okay, I get it. But I'm still worrying about, you know,
Yeah.
this going on. And in the back of my head, got to go through this by myself. I just lost my mom. Yeah, I
Right.
have sisters and brother, other family members, but they have other families and they got to work and other stuff to do too. And you know me,
Right.
I shut down. I ain't want to be bothered with nobody. I ain't want to talk to nobody. I'm good. I don't need nothing. I'm all right. You know, until I realized, no, you do need somebody.
Yeah.
You
Because
can't.
honestly, just hearing, as we always say, hearing cancer, it's like everything else they talk about just goes right out the window. And that's
Yeah.
why I can understand when you said she was like, you know, you don't
Yeah.
have to do chemo, which
Yeah.
is a good thing, but we're not hearing that right now.
Right.
We're just
Right.
hearing I have cancer. And
Right.
in your case, not only do I have cancer, I have just watched so many of my family
So
members,
many of my family.
including
Exactly.
my mother just a few months ago.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's a whole different scenario situation
Right.
mentally for you.
Right. Right. And I went through a lot, you know, mentally, emotional. It was, you know, it was a whole lot, you know. At that point, it was choosing whether to fight
Mhm.
or to give up. And I
Mm,
chose to fight.
wow. With that being said, Angela, what, because that's an honest, vulnerable statement that you just said, and I just felt it. Woo. Um, when you say give up, can you elaborate on at what point? Because there had to have been a point where you had to make a conscious decision. I am not going to stop fighting, for you to have said what you just said. People who haven't been in that dark place don't say that. They just say, oh, nope, I'm fighting, and that's it.
Mhm.
But some of us have been in those dark places in different situations in our life where it was like, okay, do I go this way with me and just give up? Whether whatever I decide to do in my meaning of give up, do I give up on life, or do I come over here and say, you know what, I got faith and I'm gonna fight? So what point, where were you when you had to make that choice? Like, what were you at home when you were like, okay, I'm battling right now in
Oh
this
yeah.
place? And how long did it take you to get there? Was it after the doctor's appointment, or was it like a few days after?
Well, you know, when I went to Dr. Perlman the first time I went to her, you know, and it was like I told you, it was like either you're gonna fight or you're gonna give up. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to throw in this out. I'm tired. You know, I went through with my mom and my family members. I don't want to live like this. You know, I came very depressed,
Mm-hmm.
you know, very mad, angry, you know,
Mm-hmm.
bitter. And then I had to decide, no, I don't want to be like this. I'm not one this person. And then, like I said, every time my mom always come to me, give it to God, hold on to his unchanging hand, don't give up. You strong, you can do this. God ain't gonna put no more, all the words she was her, God's not gonna put no more on us than we can bear. You know, all the encouraged words she would give me, I had to, even though I was in that moment to struggle,
Right.
what I was down, when I said I had to fight, because I have a child out
Right.
here, you know, I have a
Yeah.
child out here. I still have sisters and brothers, I had niece and nephew, because I figure if I gave up,
Mhm.
then what are they seeing?
So that was your why,
Yeah,
because all of us have a why.
yeah,
Some people say, no, I just had no, you
yeah,
have a why.
yeah, yeah.
When
My
you're
family.
in those dark places, you have to find a why,
Yeah,
because if you
yeah,
don't, you're not
yeah,
coming back.
yeah.
So your why, from what I'm hearing, is that you kept hearing your mother.
Hear my mama speak
Yep.
to me, encouraging me. You know,
Yep. And you heard,
God
not
will
just
never leave
heard,
you
but
nor
your
forsake
son.
you. Yes, God will never leave you nor forsake you, no matter what you're going through. You know, and she was just her ministering to me and me going to church with my
Mm,
pastors, praying for me, praying over me. You know, keeping me lifted up in prayer, calling me, checking on me. You
right.
know, and my mom told my mom was really close to her pastor, our pastor, and she told her, you know, she asked my mom, what did she want? My
Mhm.
mom said, make sure you take care of my daughter. They
Wow.
call me, you know, they call me Rachel. Take care of my daughter, Rachel, and Pete. Make sure they're
Wow.
okay. You know, she'd call and check on me, you know. And then after they left the church, I went to a different church, and the pastors I have on there, my apostles, whatever, they're awesome. You know, if I need to talk to somebody, if I need anything, I can go to them. They're there. They don't judge me. You know, none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that what keep me lifted. And then my worship songs, you know, I listen to uplifting worship songs you know, I listen to them every day anyway, but that what kept me going. After, you know, God's scriptures, in the scriptures and what I learned by going to church and my mom
Mm,
telling me and stuff like that, what's got me through, literally got
wow.
me through.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just also seeing what, like you said before, I heard you say in the beginning, like seeing what she went through gave
Mhm.
you the strength to
Yes.
even go through.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we do have to look at the people around us and what they've gone through
Mhm.
to help us get through as well.
Yeah, but it's true. And not only with that, my support group.
Right.
You know,
Right.
my Here for the Girls support group. I'm a calendar ambassador for Miss November 2023.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, I'm telling you, y'all amazing. You know, Dr. Pillerman, she seen I was down. She seen I needed somebody. She made that phone call. We connected, and I've been there ever since. You know.
So speaking of that, were you, because you say you had a lumpectomy and then are you on, you're on tamoxifen, you did tamoxifen?
Yeah, I was, but I'm not on 5 years free. No, I don't have to do it anymore. I'm 5 years breast cancer free. I don't have to do the tamoxifen anymore. So that's a good thing. So yeah.
That's awesome. So what's your treatment plan with that? Like, do they check you still ever so often? And how often do they check you, especially since you're not on tamoxifen anymore?
No, I'm on the trial. I'm doing
Okay.
a trial test to where there's no medicine. It's where
Okay.
they test your blood now to the tumor that they removed, and they see what are your chances of it coming back, or what are your chances of coming back somewhere else.
Gotcha. Okay. So when they took you, so how often you have to go to the doctor now? Every year or
Once a year.
once a year?
I
Okay, so
still
you're
go.
back to like regular.
No, for that testing is once a year, but I still see Dr. Pullman every 6 months.
Oh, okay. So you do still see her
Yeah.
every 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you get any type of scans done?
No, I just have my mammogram once a year now.
Okay.
Yeah, but she still had me come in and check me and everything
Absolutely. Okay.
because of the lymphedema in the right arm, so she still check all that.
Oh, so you have lymphedema too.
Yeah, from the breast cancer.
So when did that happen? Like how long after you had the lumpectomy did that happen?
I think the lymphedema came on like 8 months.
Okay.
8 months. So it was after the surgery, the radiation, all that.
Okay.
But came about.
And how many lymph nodes did you have taken out?
It was 5.
5. And you had a lumpectomy, so it was only on that one side. Okay. Wow. And I'm thankful that you shared that, because some people think that if they don't have lymphedema like soon right after surgery, that they can't get it.
No,
but
sometimes
truthfully, it could be years after the fact, and it just pops up.
Yeah.
So, wow, that is, whew, girl. So when did your doctor, she's seen you down, she's seen you in dark places and hearing probably some of the things you were saying are concerned about you. At what point, where were you in treatment when she introduced you to Here for the Girls, or was it after treatment? Because you already had your support group with the church and with your family.
Right.
But
no,
you didn't.
Yeah, I did have my support group.
Okay.
The family, no, not with them. I'm talking with the doctor. No, I hadn't had no treatment, nothing before. Soon as I went in there and met her, that's when she hooked me up with Here for the Girls.
Yeah. And you chose to go ahead and go right then?
Yeah, because when I had chose, she said you need somebody to talk to. I said okay, that's fine. She said it's okay for me to hook you up with the support group. I said yeah, that's because I need somebody. Really, I'm about to go off the deep end. I need somebody.
Girl, you did better than me, because I said no. I took the information and put it.
But when she introduced me to them, and they called me.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of getting ready to go on the retreat, because this was doing.
Oh, okay.
For the gala, they were going to be having the gala that weekend or whatever. So they was going off to the gala that weekend. So I had to wait till the following week to go to a meeting.
Wow, I'm just so impressed that you. And for me, I knew I needed help, but it was just like I was like, I can't talk to nobody right now.
Yeah, because I want to see how they get through it, how they do it.
Yeah,
ain't nothing better for you seeing somebody else that already been through what you're going through. That's
absolutely.
Where you get your knowledge from. Somebody already been through it or going through it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have nobody else. I didn't have nobody else. My girlfriend, which is my best friend, she's my cousin too. She was diagnosed a year before I was.
Wow.
And she moved. She moved to Texas. So as I'm going through mine, she wasn't here. But she was telling me, if you have to take chemo or radiation, well, you need to eat, make sure you eat some protein, maybe eat the egg in the morning so you can keep the strength up. So she was telling me, the different stuff to help, along the way. But she wasn't here, but she was telling me, So
And
yeah.
it makes a difference when you do have people around you.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, it does. Yeah, but I'm just so impressed. Like that, that's so
Yeah.
good. Because I had a whole different story on that one. I was just like, I need to be left alone for a minute.
Yeah. I was like,
But
no,
but that's
I
good.
did. I mean, it was like,
That's
and then
good.
I was going through my emotions, and I was down, depressed, well, and I told you I was going to church and whatever because I
Right.
was raised up in church. When I said, no, I'm gonna fight this because I would say the Holy Spirit, God, was speaking this other year.
Yeah.
You're not gonna give up. You're gonna get through this. You done been through other stuff before you got through this. You done made it through that. You're gonna make it through this. And it's crazy because my face have got stronger.
Hmm.
My face have got
Hmm.
stronger in him. Um and then he have just shown me since then, he have just shown me so much stuff that I couldn't even imagine,
Wow.
you know. It's
Wow.
just like, I never thought sitting right here now, when I first started, I never thought I would make it this far.
Mm,
This far seems so far away,
right.
And then I stay here and look back when I was about to lose and throw in the towel, and now I'm here. Couldn't have been nobody but God.
Yeah,
Nobody
absolutely.
but him, you know.
And I remember even, what was it, about a year ago, I think, that we had lunch and you were talking about the tamoxifen and you were
Mhm.
talking about being on the trial, which I want to ask you a little bit more about. But I remember you sitting there and you were just like, girl, I'm so ready to get off this medication. You were
Yeah,
like, I hope I don't have to be on it longer. And we were just talking. And it was like, we ain't claiming that, like we're going to claim that you're going to get
right,
off this.
right.
And
You're gonna
then
heal,
look at what
yeah,
happened. Look
yes,
at,
yes,
nobody but God. And I
yes,
remember that. I remember that conversation distinctively.
yes.
Um, and speaking of trials, because a lot of this is something, the reason why I want you to touch on this, to tell us what exactly type of trial, whatever information you want to share about it, because a lot of African Americans don't do trials that much. Our numbers are low, and we're trying to get more people. There's an organization called Touch, and they're trying to get this for African American breast cancer, and they're trying to get more women who have breast cancer and men who are African American to do trials because our lives are being saved by these trials, and not just African Americans, but the reason why I say distinctively African Americans because we have low numbers in trials.
Right,
And so does like Hispanics, Latinos, excuse me, and then Asians. Like the numbers are low for other, ethnicities and races. So I know ours are very, very low in research. To hear you say that you've gone through a trial, because now we can't really blame us for having these anxieties about
right,
trials because history with medicine hasn't been the greatest with the African American community. Tuskegee, Harrietta Lacks, like there's so many other examples
hmm,
going even back dated to slavery. And so there's hesitation there. And so we're trying to break down these barriers like, no, we got to get in these trials because we need
right,
to see if they work. And honestly, they're finding out even that, well, we know that triple negative seems to take more lives of young
right,
Black women.
right.
And then on top of it, they're seeing that our DNA is different
It's
when
different.
it comes to certain treatments that Caucasian men and women may
Right,
get, may not work the same in us, but we won't know until we go through these trials. So
right.
I just thank you for sharing that you went through one because that's advocacy
Yeah.
on so many levels that you even shared that information. And with that being said, do you know the name of the trial that you're on or can tell us a little bit about it?
I can't. I don't. I
No, it
don't.
ain't.
I can't tell you the name of it at the moment
Okay.
because I can't remember. But what I can say is this trial lets my oncologist know if I need to stay on the tamoxifen
Uh-huh.
longer, or if I can come off, or what are my chances of coming back in a different area.
Okay.
My thing is, um, yeah, and I said, yeah, I do the trial, and then when it came back, I could come off it, and then I have a 95 or 99% chance of it coming back, not come back somewhere else. Yeah, okay, that sounds good, but of course, in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking, you know, should I have done that or whatever? But I can't
Right.
live. I can't live like, so I can't live in fear or wondering if or whatever. I can't,
Right.
live like that. So I was okay with it. I
Okay.
was okay with it. And I think I think it is a good idea for us to have trials to be able to try that don't consist of a whole lot of surgeries and all that. When I can
Mm,
just draw my blood and let you take it and test against my other which count. You know. So
right.
it was hard because, like I said, in the back of my mind, the anxiety kicks in.
Mhm.
If I get off, it what's gonna happen, whatever. But I can't live on it for the rest of my. I don't want to live on it for the rest of my life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Honestly, well, I had DCIS. I was going to try the comment trial. It's
So,
called a comment trial, where if you have DCIS, you can basically not do anything and
hmm
just they monitor you like really closely. But I
hmm
couldn't do it because you had to be a particular grade. Because as many of you, some of you may or may not know, like a lot of these trials are very specific. Like you can't just go in and jump in a trial. You have to make sure you meet qualifications
Right.
to even participate. So the one called the comment trial, I'm almost certain that's the name of it, is DCIS, but you cannot be a grade 3. If you're grade 3, that
Then
automatically knocks you out
not
because you're
yeah.
too close to
To
potentially having invasive
Definitely.
cancer.
Yeah.
So, or a high recurrence for a secondary cancer. So I was completely knocked out. She told me about it and I was like, oh, and then I was like, yeah, I can't do it because
Okay.
I'm too far advanced in the DCIS. So no, yeah, you're right. You have to meet criteria for some of them.
Yeah. And I see I had invasive carcinoma,
Yeah.
ER positive. That's what I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, I'm so thankful you're off of it because I remember when you told us about it, we were all cheering you on 100 because that's what we do as
yes, yes,
sisters.
yes.
And so to talk a little bit about Here for the Girls and what this means to you. And yes, she is 2023 Miss November. And for those who watch this on, let's see, I think it is definitely Facebook, but YouTube, podcasters, you can't see it, but if you go to YouTube, you can. I'm gonna bring it, see if I can zoom her in. Let me take my blur off so y'all can see Miss November in her photo. I love this photo of you. And you get to read her story. Oh, it's a blur, but her story's over here.
I can
Oh,
see
wrong
it.
side, right there.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yep. But yes, this is our Miss November, Angela. So Angela, if you could yeah, definitely share like how you felt even coming to like your first meeting and everything, because you actually got to go to retreat. I haven't been to that
Yeah.
retreat.
Going to my first meeting, I was scared. I didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, didn't know who I was going to see there. Didn't know if I was going to be accepted. It was just a whole bunch of emotions. Going on, and I went and I met some lovely people. You mean it being one, not in my group, but maybe somewhere else, but I'm just saying. I met some lovely people in my group, some sisters that,
Right.
I can call on and talk to and be myself and act the fool sometimes if I want to,
Yeah, because
and
we
just
have fun.
be able to lean in on each other and, help each other out when we need it. We all need somebody, you
Right.
know, and just being able to, because I know how I was, like I said, when I feel like I didn't have anybody, because I know my mom, she was the type of person, she would have left her home and came and stayed with me until I was back to somewhat 100%.
Right.
And she wouldn't only did it for me, she would did it for anybody in her family. Even
Right.
second and third cousins she had left home to go help take care of them. So
Right.
I was like, I was like, no, my mom, I need her. I just need her. She will be here, whatever. And then they come back and remind me how God said they would replace, they'll
Mm.
replace somebody in there, which come. And my sisters, my support group, I said, I love them all. They had really been there for me, like I said, anything I need. And they the one really helped me get through what I was going through.
Wow. Wow.
They made me see there is hope,
Mm-hmm.
there is hope, and every chance I got to go to a meeting or to be around them or whatever, I felt better. You
Yeah.
know, I felt like, oh, I can do this. I felt better. I had my support group. I'm good. I felt better, and I thank God for them every day because without them, I don't know. I don't know where I would be at right
And that makes sense because I remember when we got back together after COVID for the first time, some of us had never met each other in person, but it felt so
now.
good to lay
Yes,
eyes on each other
yes,
and to actually hug each other.
yes, yes,
And Yeah, I totally agree. It's
Yeah.
nothing like that bond. It's
Mhm.
like you didn't want the disease. We would have loved to not have it.
Right.
But
Right.
since
Exactly.
we did have it, we have gained
Hmm.
friendships and
Yeah.
family.
Family. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're very active and here for the girl. Angela's active everywhere. But Angela, she is very active in here for, like I said, she is on these events. You
Mhm.
hear me? Like she's on the events. And Angela went horseback riding with me. What was it? 2 weekends ago, we went on the horses. Um, that was funny. But
Yeah. Yeah. Christina got me to go ride a horse. Yeah. Hmm.
have fun. We
Yeah.
had a good time. I was like, come on, Angela, let's go ride these horses. But we had a good time. And that was through here for the girls. We didn't have to pay for anything. We just had to show up.
Yes.
And those are how most of our events are. So what made you, because you're part of a committee, I'm gonna let you share about this committee within here for the girls. I know you do the calendar ambassador. That's about to be up December. That's our time for 2023. But what led you to be a part of the DEI committee, which I'll let you explain what that is and what that means and
Okay.
what led you there?
Okay. Well, let me. I got a call
Okay.
from one of the ladies on the Here for the Girls board and asked me did I want to be in this group, the DEI group, the Embrace DEI group. And I asked her what it entailed, and she told me, and I said, sure. And it came about after the George Floyd incident.
Okay. And explain what DEI stands for.
Um, Embrace diversity and equity inclusion.
Okay.
That's what it stands for. So that's how this group, this DEI was formed based off of that.
Okay.
And a reason why I wanted to join because I know what it feel like,
Mhm.
you know, to not be accepted,
Right.
yeah, and to not be included,
Mm-hmm.
to not be embraced. So I know what it feels like because I have been there on
Right.
multiple. So I said, yeah, I'll join it. I think this would be good. And the reason why I joined it is because it's very essential to me because we reach a lot of people in a way because of who we serve.
Right.
Young women who diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 51. We reach a whole lot of different women across the board. So when we meet a whole lot of different people across the board, we need to learn how to embrace them, no matter what their religion is, their gender is, you know what I'm saying? The ethnic, none of that, no matter what none of that is. But no matter what they got going on right now, we need to be there for them because they're going through this. They need us. And we need to let them know that no matter what you got going on, we're here.
Right.
No matter what, we're not here to judge you. We're not here to look down on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're here to embrace you and to help you along this journey.
Right.
So that's why I joined in. That's what we do. You know, we reach out in the community and we let, like I said, we reach women all across the board from different walks of life.
Right.
Oh, but we don't let that stop us from helping you and attending to your needs, whatever. That's we don't worry about that. We don't look at that,
Right.
all about love, and be able to
Mm-hmm.
help you whatever you're going through at that time to get you. So
Yeah. And Angela's very outspoken. Angela, and you say your mom was too, so that's where you
oh
got it
yeah.
from, girl.
Yeah, my mom, she would tell you what she got to say and she would love you afterwards and actually can you go to the store for me and buy me this, whatever. That's how she
But that's what I love about you. You're so
yeah,
genuine, just
yeah,
authentic to who
yeah,
you are, unapologetically.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but you do it in a respectful way.
yeah,
but but yeah, so I think it's a very needed group, and because we all come from different walks of
yeah,
life,
yeah,
and the one commonality is definitely the cancer, but outside of that you got to be very careful because people have conversations outside the group and
yeah,
outside the organization and things of that nature. You want to just be mindful
right.
of being respectful
Of
regardless.
others, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They don't need to come to a support group or somewhere where they already going through breast cancer and they got to worry about somebody said you smell like serious smoke or somebody said you look like this or you this whatever. They don't have time to worry about that.
Right. Right.
This is not the time for that. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah. So I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So, Angela, is there anything else that you want to share, or anything like what is going on now? Anything you want to share that's going on now currently, whether it's Here for the Girls or anything that you're doing outside of Here for the Girls? Yeah. Do you have anything you want to, any extra
Well,
things?
um, life is better now. Since I went through all that, I'm starting to, get back to some kind of normalcy, the new norm, because it's a new norm.
Right.
And I take no day for granted at all, you
Mm.
know. And I live life with an explanation point,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, for me to make me happy no matter what nobody say.
Right.
And like I said, and I just want to, help people, give back, because it make me happy when I can help somebody. Here you go, what I'm okay, thank you, keep it moving. It's just, and since I've been diagnosed with breast cancer and I've been going through, it's really humble. I had been really humble.
Mm.
It's really had humbled me,
Mm. That's
you
good.
know. Because back in the day, I would have cussed you out a long time ago and wouldn't even care, and you stepped all over you, kept moving, and they were like, you know what I'm saying? But now, I'm not that person anymore. I won't cuss you out like that. No, I would just
You
laugh.
stop. You give a pause.
Yeah, I just pause and look at him like, oh, okay, okay, we good, and keep it moving. I love you, keep it moving. You know, I'm just living it up. Just I want to go take a vacation, I go take a vacation. If I want to go out, go to the beach, I go to just whatever, just living life. Just minding my business, staying in my lane, doing what I got to do. You know, um, you know,
And
that's
I've
what.
seen that in action with you too, by the way, where it's like, I'm like, I know you were just annoyed, but you were just like, it's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh, I bet it used to not be that way.
yeah, yeah. And it's like I said now, when stuff come up now, and like I said, I've lost a lot of family members, and
Right.
it's like I'm numb to the point now. So it's
Mm.
like, 'cause I'm still grieving for my aunt and uncle that I lost in June and July, and I'm still, still grieving for them or whatever. But I just try to make every day a good day. Just think about them and stuff they would
Hmm.
say, because they would say some crazy stuff, and just laugh and keep it moving. But God has been good to me. I just, even through all my trials and tribulations, He's been good. I
Yeah,
just, I can't take nothing from Him. I can't take nothing from Him.
that is so true. So true.
I just can't. Um, He had, put this man in my life that takes great care of me, and
Yes.
I couldn't ask for nothing better.
Yeah.
And the time He brought him to me was right on time. When I
Right.
say right on time, it was right on time.
Hmm.
You know, um, because I had multiple surgeries since the breast cancer. But like I
Right.
said, God is good. I'm doing good. God is good. So I'm just living up and just happy.
And one thing that I absolutely love about you, Angela, like she'll be like, look, when we going to go have lunch, like it's time to talk. And I love that because that's part of being humble and vulnerable, to reach
Right,
out to people like, hey, look, I need to talk.
right,
Like, and it's
right,
not until you want to talk about anything bad or whatever. It's just like
right.
we need to hook up. We need to, and I love that about you, because so many times either we're so busy we don't stop to do
Hmm.
that for
Hmm.
ourselves, or either we feel like, oh, I don't want to bother somebody.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you are one person, you will
Hmm.
hit me up. You'd be like,
Hmm.
look, girl, when we going out? I'm like, only thing is usually, I'm like, I don't know where we're going. You like,
Yeah,
we
or
take
somewhere. Hey,
somewhere else.
we'll figure it out. Come on, let's go. We going. So,
Yeah. So I thank you for that, because every time that you do that, though, it's a reminder to me to make for sure I do that in my
right,
own life.
yeah,
You
because you
may
never
not
know.
have ever known that, but that really gets me like, ooh, let me pump the brakes and have some social time outside of
Right,
home.
right, because you never know. You never know who. You never know what somebody's going through.
Right.
You never know. Come on, I'm gonna take you out to eat, we can talk. Whatever. Just like my mom. Every time I would go somewhere with her, which was all the time, because we was always together, she would speak to everybody she saw. She would speak, and that's
Hmm.
like, even people that she don't even know. I
Right.
said, "Mom, why is you speaking to these people?" She said, baby, let me tell you one thing. It does not hurt to speak to nobody. You never know
Right.
what somebody going through. I might could make somebody day. And my mom had so many friends, and everybody she came in contact, she touched their life.
Mm.
It was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. You know, it was just, she just didn't talk, and they had a whole conversation like they've been knowing each other for years. And I'm like, Mom, you don't know them. But it's okay to speak. Okay. So now I catch myself doing it.
You do
I
it.
walk past, hello, how you doing? You know, I'm like, oh, my friend, who I'm like, I don't know, it's just cause I'm just speaking to people. It's okay to speak, ain't it?
That is the, but it's good because I remember growing up and I used to get so angry and bothered when I see people not speak to a janitor or,
Mhm.
someone that they deem to not be worthy to be spoken to. And it's
Mhm.
like, nah, like we all need someone to smile
Mhm.
at us
Right,
sometimes and to say
right,
hello and just show that compassion, that empathy towards that person, just for being
exactly.
a human being,
Being a
especially if you're
human
a
being,
Christian. You know
exactly.
you're supposed to be setting an
Right,
example
right,
that's Christ-like, and
right.
Christ-like, he is love.
Yeah,
So we have to show that because
yeah,
it's an action word. It's not just a word.
yeah.
It
And
has
like
no
I said, I knew I had grown. I said, I know my faith had grown. I know I had grown in the Lord because there would be times I walk past you and look at you and won't even speak,
right.
you know. And now I can't do that. Why I'm doing that? Damn people ain't doing nothing to me. Even if
Yeah.
they did, let them have that, but still speak and keep moving. So that's what I do now. Hello, how you doing?
And
Have a good day.
you have such a good spirit of that, and then also accountability. You will
Oh yeah.
make someone accountable on the spot, not
Hmm.
wait and have a
Hmm.
conversation. Like you might take them to, you have them to be accountable in
Right.
that moment.
Right.
um
Yeah.
and I think that's just so beautiful because so
Yeah.
many times we just like, oh well, I might talk to them later about that, or no.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, if you feel that that
Right.
was wrong, you're gonna let them
Yeah.
know
I'm gonna let
real
them
quick,
know.
like you were
You know.
wrong for that.
Yeah.
Um,
You
no, but
know.
you do, you will let somebody know, but you do it in love.
Yeah. I do. I do. I do it in love. I do.
You
I do.
do.
I
You're
do.
a very loving person, I have
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. So.
So, Miss Angela, if you don't have anything else, you sure you don't have nothing to share that's coming up or anything people have, you want people to reach you if they need to reach you? For
Oh, well, if they can reach me, they can always reach me on Facebook,
okay,
Angela Washington, or my email,
okay,
a.dwashington@yahoo.com, or on Instagram.
yeah, okay.
So if you want to contact.
All right. Well, before you leave, you have to tell us about your song. So that's the first thing, and we'll wrap it up with the word. But you chose a song. It was Tasha Cobb's,
Hmm.
and it was "You Know My Name,"
Hmm.
which I love that song. That was one of my worship songs when I was going through it. Um,
Exactly.
or you remember my name.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know me. You know me.
Exactly.
You got me. But
Exactly.
yeah, it brought back memories when I heard it today.
Hmm.
I was like, oh
Hmm.
wow. And then I put the reel together and I was seeing your mom's picture and I was like, oh. um
Hmm.
so share what that song means to you and why you chose it.
It means a lot to me because when I was going through it, when I'm not going through it, whatever, he knows my name. He put the birth air in my body. He knew every hair on my head. He knew everything I'm
Preach.
going through. He know when I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm hurt. He knows it all. He knows it all.
Yes.
I just call on his name, Jesus. He knows me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So that's ministered to me because no matter what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with, he's there. He knows. He's with me
mm.
everywhere I go. He's with me. You know.
Amen.
So and the word comes to me. He ain't say we won't have no trials and tribulations, right? He didn't say that
Right.
because he.
Wow.
So that's how I look at it.
Okay.
That's
So
how that's my song. It's so dear to my heart because every time when I'm going through it, whatever I feel down or whatever, I listen to that song and it's just every time it's just lifting me up because he knows me. I can't hide from him. He knows me. So all I gotta
mm,
do is surrender my all to him and let him take over.
mm.
Mhm.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
So if you could leave one word and why you chose the word with the audience, as far as what this word, whether it means something to you or whether you just think people need to hear this word, but tell us why you chose the word and give us the word that you would choose to leave with people who are whether they have a wound and it's fresh, or whether they have a scar that they look at every day and sometimes it's unbearable. A word to encourage them and uplift them, and why you chose it.
To live.
Mm.
Live.
Mm.
Even though I know you're going through, or you're struggling, or you're dealing with this, just live. 1 second at a time, 1 day at a time, live. If it's something out there that you want to do it. Live. Enjoy life. Life is so precious and it's so short. Enjoy life. Don't let, because I know I try to let it hold me back, but like I said, I found a support group. Don't let the fear of the unknown hold you back from living.
Mm. That's beautiful.
Live. If you have to call on somebody, call on. Like I tell people, I was one of those ones. They say, "You need anything?" "No, I'm good." "You need anything?" "No, I'm good. I don't need nothing." Okay. But people don't really know in that moment. You really can't say what you need because you don't know.
Right. Ooh, that's good.
You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. So the thing is, pick up the phone. I'm coming over. Bring some food. If you know me, you know what I eat. Knock on doors, I got you something. But if anybody knock on the door and come and say, "I'm gonna sit here with you for the rest of the day. If you like it or not, go lay down, go to sleep, or what, I'm here." You see my dishes, they be done, wash the dishes. Just the little things that people need that will show, yeah, somebody cares, somebody's there for me. I can talk to this one person, they ain't gotta worry about being, what I'm saying? Just be there for the person. That's all. That's all.
I love
You know.
it. I
So
love it. Well,
yeah.
I have something for you now. I just want to leave you with, continue to speak.
And you know that. Okay.
You have a voice that has to be heard. You have been anointed to share, and you may share things very bluntly, but that's okay, because guess what? Someone needs to hear that. But the point is to continue to speak, continue to allow God to use your voice to speak to the multitude and the masses. You are such a compassionate and loving person, and you already got all that down. You already got, and not to say you don't have speaking down, but I just say go for it. Whatever God is telling you to do, far as speaking, far as getting in front of people, do it. Don't hold back. Like you said, those areas, those fearful areas, those foreign lands, walk into them. Walk into them. Walk in every last foreign land that comes your way. Because why? Because God got you. He got you, and he's prepared you for a time such as this. And your body is anointed. Your feet are anointed. They're shod with the preparation of peace upon them. You will walk into greatness. You will continue to walk into greatness, but don't let nothing hinder this walk. Nothing.
Amen.
So I just want to leave you with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I love you. I love you.
Love you.
And I'm sure it's about time we go out for our lunch.
Yes, it is. It is ASAP. I drive up there. You ain't got to worry.
Oh, girl, I know you will be here in a minute. But I thank you so much. I thank you so much for coming on and for sharing and for being just so vulnerable and sharing, not just from your story, like I said, but even as a caregiver and sharing that story, because that took a lot of strength to share the story about your mom. So, and your whole family, but definitely your mother. And I just love you so much. Love you, love you, love you. All right. Well, that wraps up another episode with Our Scars Speak. So remember that our mental and our physical scars speak a story that can help heal the wounds of another. We encourage you to share that story. When? I can't tell you when. Hopefully you'll be directed to share one day. No one's trying to pressure you, but please know that your story needs to be told. But until then, we love you and have a great night. Bye.